Write-in question, Mike. This is a good one. And this is, in your generation, my generation, growing up, you and I have been doing a great job of lifting the trades and putting them out front. The guy working, the gal working with their hands, getting a little grease on them, a little dirt on the fingernails. We've honored them and lift them up. But I also remember a certain percentage of those people in my generation when we were coming into the workplace, they took those jobs because it's where they could mail it in, where they could not work hard. Because they could hide there, and in a quote unquote white collar job, the spotlight would be on them. But you could, the whole group is down there going, well, let's take it easy, and they meant it. It
Right.
was like, so the question is, how do we battle a company culture of good enough?
Oh, that is a good question. So C+, right? C+, C minus. Boy. Well, I think you start with what you just said. You have to know what success looks like. You have to know you have to see the difference between A minus and C+. Like you really practically have to understand. And if that means showing employees next to one another and demonstrating that, can you do that today in HR? Is this frowned on? It seems like it might be.
The problem is if you put donkeys and thoroughbreds in the same stable, it exposes donkeyness. Just the very presence of a thoroughbred exposes the donkey's donkeyness.
Yeah.
You don't even have to say anything. It's just like, look at the difference. Everybody walks by, goes, those two ain't the same.
Right.
And you just put them in the same stall. Everybody's like, well, there's a donkey and there's a thoroughbred, and the donkey knows it, the thoroughbred knows it, everybody else knows it, and you don't have to say a deadgum word. And then you can have a donkeyectomy.
That sounds painful.
And remove the donkey. Yeah.
Next thing you know, you have a jackass. Or maybe a mule.
Now we're getting technical.
Well, it gets confusing. But look, it's back to the evidence demands a verdict. The evidence is your people. You've got rock stars, you've got A+, you got A-, you got C+. And, if you're in a culture or a company where you're allowed to present the evidence in a way where it is self-evident, then do that.
Yeah.
Do that thing. Look, dirty jobs, I get a lot of credit for some things I didn't do on purpose, but I think really I could draw a pretty straight line. I'm sitting here because 21 years ago, we pointed our cameras at a thing that people hadn't pointed their cameras at before. In other words, we would go into a sewer, not simply to show you that, oh yeah, this is what a sewer looks like, but to spend hours with a sewer inspector, and not in a perfunctory way, not in a scripted way. We didn't always know what we were going to get, but we treated that sewer inspector the way Access Hollywood would treat Brad Pitt, right? In fact, we paid more attention. We had 4, sometimes 5 cameras in these impossibly weird places, and I would have honest conversations with anonymous people living in towns you can't find on a map, doing a job that you didn't think needed to be done, but paying a level of attention to it that was unprecedented in my industry. And when I saw the results of that on TV, that's when it became obvious to me. We all get to choose what we point our cameras at, both metaphorical and real. And by the way, since we all have one of these, we all have real cameras. We can document the business of work at our location, and we can share that evidence in whatever way we want. So yeah, when you see A+ behavior, document it.
Yeah,
you see D- behavior, document it.
And it's and reward it. I mean, all you got to do is get one and just hold it up and go, this is what it looks like. And oh, by the way, here's some money, and here's some recognition, and he just won a vacation to Disney and with his family, and she did, and then the other guys go, oh, wait a minute, good enough isn't good enough anymore. And so that's the one side of it, is lift it up and trumpet it and say, this is the standard, this is who we are, this is the definition of being a we. If you want to be on our team, we do it this way. and then start just removing the others. You know, you're either going to aspire and start making moves in that direction, or, you know, we're going to have an uncomfortable conversation about you not being here.
Well, and that's what's happening, I think, in a lot of companies and all across the country. The whole notion of employee of the week, employee of the month, that's been with us for a long, long time. And I think in our generation anyway, it's been baked into our head that the elevation and the celebration of virtue is a fundamentally good thing. But those expressions are also under attack today. They trigger people, they upset people, and there's a lot of pressure that I've seen.
Yeah, but you know, honestly, people that like me that run businesses and people listening to this and watching this, they don't care.
Yeah, but there's nobody like you,
if you get
Dave.
triggered.
Who is like you?
Triggered is a horse. I mean, I'm not going to get triggered.
Yeah, but
Roy Rogers' horse.
You open the door to thoroughbreds and donkeys.
Yeah, I know, but
so of course you're triggered.
Yeah, of course you're triggered. Okay, good. Then you don't need to be on my team. You know, I'll give you a safe space. Go somewhere else. There's your safe space. You know.